Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Knowing where you stand with women is important. I mean, where you really stand. A lot of guys really don't know where they stand. A lot of guys don't. A few do, but most, believe it or not, don't. You get a whole lot of guys who think they select, and they really ain't. And you got a whole lot of guys who think they non-select, and they really ain't. You know, like, okay, like with that thing with guys who think they're non-select. And incidentally, that's not, you ain't supposed to be stuck in like a non-select category. Anybody promoting like, oh, you non-select and that's it is some bullshit. Because it's more than just, first of all, your physicality play a part, but that's not the only thing. It's more about mindset and then paying attention. Because a man can be select and you know what, he don't match what some people think everybody gotta have, but he don't have any problem getting a woman. And indeed, shit, you only really need to be select to that right woman. So, but anyway though, you get some guys, they'll say, well, I'm non-select. But if you ask them, it's like, well, why you think it? Well, you know, I ain't get that fine woman and everything. Okay, but the other ones might have been checking you out. I remember I was at this club with a buddy of mine. And this was when I was young and, you know, tried to holler at this fine honey, you know, cutie. And she rejected me. And, you know, I was just like, and, you know, I was disappointed because she was fine. But I never forget what my boy said to him. He said, okay, why you all up on that woman? These other three were checking you out. So, shoot, they were just staring at you. And I was like, oh, okay. See, one of the things is a lot of guys that think they non-select just because they don't get the woman they want. Indeed, I even said that in my book, Nice Guys and Players, about players. I said that on the back cover. I said, are you a player who can get every woman except the one you really want? I mean, they still select. They getting them because even a select guy ain't gonna get every woman. And I ain't never promote that they could. No man's gonna get every woman no matter what. But sometimes you get some guys, they just focused on just like the ones that they can't get instead of thinking all these other women are showing some love and showing blatant interest. And then you get some guys, they really non-select. They lying to themselves. Like you got some guys out here talking about how much game they have, but they ain't getting anything. The most they getting is maybe some woman who is, shall we say, community property for the streets, 304. Well, that don't count. You sharing. So, you know, because every woman, they ain't going to be strict as people think. Like, oh, they only going to deal with select men or they only going to deal with alphas or 20%ers. You know? They think that's all that's going to happen. No, no, no. You get some women, you can be, yeah, you could be like that fine dude. But you could also be that dork and she's still gonna give you something equally. There's just some women out there like that. But you get some guys, they think they're on top of something, or you get plenty of guys, they think they select with a woman, they find out the hard way. I mean, when I say the hard way, she just settling for him. Because the guy she really wanted all of a sudden decided to return her text, stop putting on read and whatnot, you know? So here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. All men gotta just be honest where they really stand. How do women really treat you? See, that's the key. How are they treating you? How are they treating you? See, in general, women gonna treat a select man. She's gonna be cooperative. She ain't gonna, she gonna wear those thongs. You know, she's gonna be energetic during sex. Cause you got some guys, they generally non-select, but you know, they gotta jump through some serious hoops, you know, or the woman put them on like, you know, that 90-day thing, 120 days, and she already like, oh yeah, it's soon, like saying a whole bunch of stuff. No, because he's non-select. Because here's the thing too, contrary to popular belief, there are non-select men who they'll get a girlfriend, They'll get married, maybe even have some kids, which, you know, I strongly recommend they do a paternity test. But the woman, that's like not the woman's main choice. Because the reality is women have to deal with non-select men because there's not enough select ones to go around. So, but you get some guy, he's generally non-select and he think he got that woman, but then he double back home. Or he generally non-select and he think he got that woman, but you know, she don't want to cook for him. She only has sex with him like once every 3 weeks. And she being real quiet because she probably thinking about some other man. Why they doing it? And that's just a reality. But it comes down to treatment. Ask yourself one simple thing. This is how you really know. When you dealing with a woman, how does she treat you? Like if you just talking with a woman, is she kind of talking and her eyes all over here, everything, or she looking you dead in your eyes? Is she standing close? Like when she talks to you, you know? Does she smile when she see you? Is she quick to give you a hug? How does she hug you? Even if y'all so-called friends. Does she give you that side hug? Oh, you non-select to her. Or she give you that full frontal, her breastises on your, or breast to your chest and, you know, her pelvis to your joint. She give you that tight hug, you know. She making contact when she around you. Does she like to stand real close to you? You know, when y'all out walking, does she walk beside you or a little bit behind you? Or is she walking ahead? You know? How does she treat you? Like, just be honest. Just think about every woman you dealt with. Because like I said, women still have to deal with non-select men because, you know, either there's not enough select men to go around, and select men tend to be picky. So especially if that woman ain't that type who's going to get truly a select man's attention, or she got to deal with what she can. But many women, if they ain't really feeling that guy, I mean, I've seen some terrible things. I've seen some terrible things. You know, it could be, that's why a lot of guys, they think they got that woman and it's like, well, she don't treat you like shit. She ain't showing you no respect, anything like that. You non-select to her. She settled for you, you know? And you gotta be honest, because then when you honest with it, first of all, when you honest about who you are and who you are to women, that's when you can make some changes. Or if you don't want to make changes, you at least at peace. You're not doing stuff. You're not getting played. You know, you ain't getting your bank account empty. You ain't spending a whole lot of your money on some woman who might only have sex with you. It's just a little bit. She'll give you a little bit. She when I say a little bit, pancake sex. And some women, they slick enough, they know how to make you come quick. If you ain't gonna do it on your own, they'll do something. They figure out something. Hell, you got some women, they could give a man a blowjob and they really ain't give. They making as little contact as possible. They ain't giving you that vacuum cleaner suck. They ain't giving you that. So you get some women, and they'll do that with a guy that's not truly select to them. So, and then you, like I said, the other side of the thing, a lot of guys select, but they just don't know it. They just don't know it because they only paying attention to that one woman who probably ignored them, or a couple here and there, but the majority of women, they like handing it to them. I knew this one guy, he was saying, you know, he knew about the stuff. He said, man, you know, I'm non-select. And, you know, and we had a public place and stuff, right? Somebody, one of those dudes, you know, you meet in the streets, they read your stuff. Hey, Rom, hey. Meanwhile, women just walking by, like staring at him. I'm like, they weren't looking at Rom. And this was years ago. This is over a decade ago. They weren't looking at me. So I was like, dude, you looking select. Trust me, because I'm looking at the women. They fine. They ain't looking at me. Shoot. They looking directly at this dude. I'm like, but he didn't think so. But you gotta be honest, because then if you really select, if you figured it out, they say, wait a minute, women treat me well. Shoot, women be cooking for you. Hell, they more aggressive sexually with it. Shoot, they more aggressive with them. Shoot, you select, you know? But then know how to use that. Because a lot of guys be just lying to themselves. See, once you're honest with yourselves, then you can effectively deal with women, whether you non-select or select. You know, if you non-select, okay, you know you need to work on some shit. And then if you select, well, with great power comes great responsibility. So, but it's very important to know where you stand. Where you stand. All right? So anyway, that's all I have. I'll get back with you later. Peace and blessings.